Hi everybody, today we're going to do the flatbread Philly cheesesteak. We went ahead and put our flatbreads from our freezer to our cooler overnight. Then we're going to move our flatbreads from our cooler into our dry storage and let them come to room temperature. I'm going to wash all my vegetables, starting with my bell peppers, and then continuing with my green onions, and take them to my work surface. I'm going to begin to prep my purple onions, removing the ends and then cutting them in half. I'm going to remove the outer layer of the skin. This is going to help me maximize the amount of product I get out of each cut. Also, it allows us to make and save as much money as possible. I'm going to discard my skins and I'm going to begin to prep my bell peppers. I'm going to use a cutting technique known as the box cut. If you see, I'm going down each side of my bell pepper and then removing the bottoms, leaving the rind and the seeds intact. I'm going to add my bell peppers to my bowl of onions and take that to our continuous feeder. Go ahead and watch that wonderful video that we did with the continuous feeder. I am going to begin to prep my scallions. I'm going to cut them at the bias, which means at an angle. This allows us to create a texture look to our dish. I have slacked my Philly beef meat overnight, 24 hours, which allows me to break it up easily into my 2-inch pan. I'm going to wrap my 2-inch pan with aluminum foil. Let's make sure that that shiny side is up and the dull side is down. I'm going to place my pan into my oven and I'm going to cook for 30 minutes. I'm going to remove my pan and I'm going to season with some salt and pepper. Seasoning at this time allows that seasoning to be absorbed into our meat because it has released some juices and has begun to cook. I'm going to place my seasoned Philly beef into the oven at 350 degrees and cook another additional 5 minutes. Once my beef is removed from the oven, I am going to place it in the hot holding cabinet and hold until I'm ready to build our Philly cheesesteak flatbreads. Moving to the next step, I'm going to grab my flatbreads. I'm going to season them with a teaspoon of oil, and using gloved hands, I'm going to spread this oil all over our flatbreads, making sure to cover these from edge to edge. Once I have nicely seasoned our flatbreads, I'm going to place those into the oven, that is, preheated at 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, I want to remove my flatbreads. Look at that beautiful golden color. To these toasted flatbreads, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of queso. I am using gloved hands. I am removing any cheese that is left in my tablespoon so I get the maximum yield out of each. You can use a plastic spatula for this, or you can just use the back of the tablespoon like I am using in this video. Look at the coverage of that. Every bit of our flatbread should have some form of flavoring and seasoning on it, giving each bite the maximum amount of flavor. Once I have the cheese on my flatbread, I'm going to scoop using a number 10 scoop of our Philly beef in the middle of our flatbread. I'm going to use my hands and I'm going to spread the Philly beef from one side of the flatbread to the other. A 2-ounce boodle of onions goes next, and then I'm going to put 3 slices of green bell peppers on each flatbread. I'm going to go from one corner to the other corner, and then I'm going to flip that up with the red bell peppers and go from the other corner to the other corner, adding a beautiful color on our flatbread. This really makes it pop. To those ingredients, I'm going to take a tablespoon and I'm going to lightly drizzle the cheese over top of all the ingredients. I'm going to make sure that I go from one corner to the other corner. Once the last flatbread has received the last drizzle of cheese, place that into your oven for additional 4 minutes. You will notice the toasting of the flatbread is a little bit more golden brown and the cheese is bubbling. We're going to take this and cut these into triangles using our pizza cutter and store in our hot holding cabinet until ready to serve. When we are ready to serve, we are going to garnish this dish with those sliced green onions. Voila!